Hello, sports movie fans, and welcome to Locker Room Flicks Podcast. I'm Frank Sullivan, and with me is my uncle, Frank Darlin. Frank, what's going on?
Not much. Just came back from Palm Harbor in Florida. We had a good time. Took the RV.
Palm Harbor?
Palm Harbor, yeah. PA.
How far is that?
That's about 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Is that east, west, north?
You're going that way. I think you're going east because it's going
towards the coast.
It's going to the west. Yeah,
west.
It's
Coast.
It's near Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Tampa, nice. Yeah, Tampa's nice.
Yeah, it's real nice there. So
beautiful down there.
We had a good time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We stayed at the same place we did last time.
Yeah,
so it was nice. Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. Ate a lot of good food, and went on the beach a couple of times. It was good. Oh, look, I'll show you too. I got this. Look, you can see it on the screen. That's a real sponge.
That's cool.
Down in the ocean.
We just found that? Or you bought it? I was gonna say.
Well, because Tarpon Springs has sponge docks, and
gotcha.
they go and get them and bring them up, and they
gotcha.
sell them. Yeah,
that's cool.
So yeah.
You make a campfire every night, or just about every night?
No, not really. No, not really, because it's too hot.
That's true. I guess.
It's like 80 degrees at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would normally though. When it's cooler out. Yeah, definitely.
That's always fun doing s'mores, just kind of out there.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
We've done that. We've done that before. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Not much else going on. We had a good time. She wanted to do that for her birthday that week, so.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Of course.
We ended up going to a little bit of a cookout with some friends that were in town by where the hell was it? Silver Sands Beach, kind of.
Oh, nice.
They rented an Airbnb down there, so.
Yeah, I think you said you were going to do that.
Yeah, it was cool. We just kind of hung out. We took, Stella down there, and she met a lot of my friends, and we were there for a while, but weather was kind of crappy though. We getting a lot of rain.
It's been raining, right? It's been raining a lot.
Rained a lot last. We had a lot of big storm last night.
That's what Maria was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good there. It rained a little bit one day, but then it cleared up. But
yeah,
it was nice. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that's kind of really it.
Yeah.
Just kind of hanging. But yeah, I guess we want to start the movie. We'll get it going.
Yeah, we'll start it up. Y'all ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. The movie that we picked was The Raging Bull. It was released on December 19th, 1980. The box office info. Opening weekend, $128,000. It grossed $23.5 million worldwide, had a budget of $18 million, and it was directed by Martin Scorsese.
Marty.
Yep. Now, it was starring Robert De Niro as Jake LaMotta, Joe Pesci as his brother, Joey LaMotta, Catherine Moriarty as Vicky LaMotta, her first film, actually, and Vincent T. as Salvi. Let's see. Awards, it had 24 wins and 28 nominations. Best Actor going to Robert De Niro, and Oscar Best Film Editing by Thelma Schoonmaker. And the simple synopsis of this movie: the life of boxer Jake LaMotta, this is a true story, whose violence and temper that led him to the top in the ring destroyed his life outside of it. And I actually had the DVD, and you watched it on HBO Max, right?
I should say it's called Max now, but that's they changed the name.
Do you get Max? You get Max then? Okay.
I have it linked through my cable actually, so it's kind of it's all one bill.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So we finally had a DVD.
Yeah, I know. Very true. Did you watch it in the camper?
No.
You watch it home?
Watch it before we left. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So that's it on that. Let's see. Okay, so if you want, let's go to because we had a lot to talk about in this. So the next thing is Frank's 5 fun facts. I'm sure you got a bunch of them here, because
I was able. There was a lot, actually, surprisingly, and
So
it's funny too. For an older movie, there was a lot. There was a lot on this movie, but I guess also because it's a true story, number one, and it's based off. It's also based off a book.
Yes, right.
Which I don't know. I don't know if you read that. I don't.
No, I did not. I'm not a big book reader, unfortunately, but I've read some.
But we should get someone to read the book, and then we can compare it to the book for the movie. It'd be kind of funny to do.
Yeah, it would be.
But
no doubt about it.
Because like I said, Legend of Bagger Vance was a book too.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so we'll get down to it. So my first fact number one. This is kind of a little bit on Martin. So in 1978, Martin Scorsese was at an all-time low after his last movie, New York, New York, bombed at the box office. Have you seen it? Probably not.
No, I did not. You mean movie New York, New York, you're saying?
Yeah.
No, never saw it.
So I guess it bombed at the box office. I have no idea. I have no idea what it's about. I assume it's about New York. He does a lot of his stuff about, a lot of his movies based out of New York.
Yes, they are. Yep.
So also followed by a near overdose resulting in addiction to cocaine.
Martin Scorsese?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
No.
Wow. That's crazy.
So I guess Robert De Niro visited him in the hospital, and they told him that he had to clean himself up and make the movie about the boxer. De Niro asked him, I guess, multiple times to do this movie, and I guess he refused, and then eventually, I guess Marty just gave in and just made the movie. I guess he said he wasn't a big sports movie fan, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. If you think about his movies, they're really none are based
this
on
is the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
So many, including Scorsese, claim that De Niro saved his life by getting him back to work, and that this movie cemented his reputation as one of the most important American filmmakers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't know. But fact number two. So the real Jake LaMotta saw the movie, and he also made him break down into tears, and he realized for the first time what a terrible person he had been.
Yeah, that's true.
When he asked the real Vicky LaMotta, which I assume they got, because I think in the movie they got divorced eventually.
Yes, they did. Yes.
He asked if he would really like that, and Vicky said, "You were worse."
Wow.
So it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Another side note: Jake LaMotta's brother Joseph Joey sued production for $2.5 million for the film's alleged unflattering depiction of him.
Yes, so, I think I saw that. Yeah, I saw that part. Yeah, I seen that. Yep.
It didn't, because this is a brother suing.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I don't know. It didn't. Really, I didn't really see it. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I know. No, I didn't mean it that way. I mean, I noticed that where they had said that. Yeah, that really kind of, it kind of surprised me. But then again, people are funny that way. I don't know.
I wonder. I don't think he won. Probably should have looked into it.
Yeah.
A side note here actually said that the real Jake LaMotta was partially deaf for most of his life. He had 30% use in his right and 70% in the left. So that was just kind of like a little side note here. I don't know if you knew that.
If you watch the movie, there was a couple times I saw it that I could see that he couldn't hear very well.
Because what'd you say?
Yeah. So
Well, and I'm sure getting punched in the ear probably didn't help either.
Yeah, they get cauliflower ears, those guys.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So fact number 3, in preparation for this role, Robert De Niro went through extensive physical training. As you can tell, he entered 3 genuine Brooklyn boxing matches, and he won 2 of them.
Pretty impressive.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
To achieve, and also another little side note on here, to achieve the feeling of brotherhood between the 2 lead actors, De Niro and Pesci, they lived and trained with each other for some time before and during the filming.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah.
I
interesting.
They definitely they you know them. They're always they always play well against each other.
They do very well. They do. They're a good combination.
All right, let's see here. Fact number 4: to follow up, to show it better. To show it better on black and white film, Hershey's chocolate syrup was used for blood. The makers found that it even looked more convincing than real blood. To achieve the effect of blood gushing and spraying from De Niro's nose, he wore a prosthetic nose that was filled with fake blood, so that it would squirt in every direction upon his punches.
That's awesome. So do you use Hershey syrup? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I've also heard, and I don't know if you have, sometimes in some of the black and white and even regular, they would use milk for rain because it would show up better on when filming. I mean, now, again, now it might be different with all the technology,
CGI and stuff.
But back then, back then I heard it would use sometimes milk.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they did that stuff. Yep.
Yeah. And my last fact, so I wanted to kind of touch base on the black and white. So the reasons why he used black and white was merely for the period that it was based in, because it was the beginning in the 40s.
Yes, it was.
But also to differentiate from Rocky 1 and 2, and 2 more boxing movies that were in production at the time: The Prize Fighter and The Main Event. Which I don't know. I should write those down.
You should write those down. I think I thought I saw The Main Event. I'm not positive, but I know the two. I know the 2 movies. I don't know if I've seen The Prize Fighter, but I have heard of both of them.
And The Main Event. And let's write that down. I'll have to check Noah and see if you put it down. Let's see here. So, I'm trying to look and see. I think that was Martin. He didn't want to pick. So another reason why was also in the book. Jake LaMotta is saying, he says, this is a quote from the book. He says, "Now, sometimes at night when I think back, I feel like I'm looking at an old black and white movie of myself. Why it should be black and white, I don't know, but it is." So I guess it's a quote used from the book.
From the book.
To make it black and white.
So so it was in the book like that. And I mean, so I get what you're trying to say. Yeah. So pretty much, in another way it goes right with where the book says. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yep, definitely. Well, that was very good.
That's my last.
Those are really good. Those are really good. I like the way you picked those because there was a lot of them.
There was, I know. I was trying to. You got to try to figure out a little bit of everything, and
you covered it. You covered it good. You covered all different aspects of it. So that was good. Very good. Good job.
Okay, so and this was your first time watching the movie, correct? No.
Yes, it was. Never saw it before.
Mine too. Never saw it.
No.
What do we think? Overall.
Okay, you got to remember something. It had 10 minutes of boxing in it. I'm sure you've seen that. At 10 minutes of boxing. That's all. Okay. So
I did make that note. It was more on the storylines.
It was more on it's the
wasn't
story.
A lot.
Exactly. It's more of his struggle. It's not really. It's a sports movie, but it's really not. That's why this movie is number 24 of all time in the I think in the top 100 AFI movies. I know. Every movie, not just that. and it's number 1 above Rocky and the Pride of the Yankees. So, I mean, it's just. I know when I saw it though, I said to myself, it's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I like the fighters he was fighting because I read about those fighters. I knew who they were at that, and them. So that was good for me. Once again, I'm older than you, but I know it's way back. But my stepfather told me about those guys. Serdan. Now Serdan that he fights, poor guy died, and he died. He was 36 years old. He died in that plane crash. Never got to fight no more.
Wow.
And Sugar Ray Robinson, you've seen him. Mm-hmm. He was one of the best fighters, pound for pound, ever. So I mean, those kind of things I really enjoyed in it. But at points, it was I don't know, it was pretty boring.
It was no, you know what, you're right. It was pretty boring. It's funny. I wrote down this is basically Goodfellas, just with boxing in it.
I agree totally with you.
Because he used, I mean, we also really, we didn't get really into the cast too much, but I mean, Vincent, what the hell's his name?
Frank Vincent, you mean?
Frank Vincent, I'm sorry.
Plays Salvi, yeah.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought here. Frank Vincent's in it, so again,
excellent.
It's the same thing. He's. Let me tell you something. In The Sopranos, he makes that role like he plays such a ruthless, mob boss. And The Sopranos is probably on my top series or side note in here. That's one of my top series to watch. Is The Sopranos.
Oh.
I don't think.
No doubt about it.
Nothing compares. And I was even telling Casey, we were talking about it from start to finish. You know how when you get we compare it to like The Walking Dead. Yes, where it kind of loses it as it goes along.
I got it.
The first season is almost just as good as the last.
Yeah, I didn't like the ending, but that's okay.
No, that's that everyone has their own kind of opinion on how they end.
Well, they leave you hanging.
They leave you hanging, yeah. But that's basically what I wrote. It was like it was same. I mean, you could a lot of the same jokes, but the dialogue seemed very similar. To Goodfellas, a lot of racial, talks when they get into like the Moulignans and
the Guineas,
the Wops, and they get a lot of that talk. I'm trying to think of what else I lost my train of thought.
The
Italian
clubs.
Talk. Yeah, the
Remember
clubs.
The clubs. Yeah, same way. I was waiting for Joe Pesci to bring the gun out and start.
I will say it was cool seeing Joe Pesci in a different light.
Yes,
because when you compare him to Casino, which I wasn't even thinking about Casino and Goodfellas.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
Pesci's always the instigator, the bull, and he was kind of the opposite now. So I did like that.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. He tried to calm down Robert De Niro playing Jake and that Jake LaMotta. Yeah, definitely. Well, let's go into De Niro a little bit because everybody knows who he is. But before this, remember, he was a nobody. He played he became a somebody, but he really was nobody. He was in Taxi Driver, excellent. Before this,
I've never seen that.
Oh, excellent! You really
I hear a lot of good things. Yeah,
Mean Streets, and then he was in The Godfather Part 2. But he was just a B actor in those movies. He really wasn't anybody special. And then he moved on and did this and. He catapulted from this, and the rest is history. The rest of the movie. So, but he was in those before that. That's why look how much the budget.
How young?
Oh yeah, $18 million budget. I know it's 1980, but it's still not that much. So.
Oh, and even Pesci was a nobody at that time, right?
No, he was a nobody. No, he was a nobody. Yeah.
Because again, this is all before Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Because Goodfellas came out first. Well, Goodfellas came out first, but.
And his wife there, Kathy Moriarty, that was her first film. She had never done a film before. And I think she got a, what do you call it for that? She got a Best Supporting Actress. She didn't win.
No.
Yeah. I thought she did. She got something out of it. I forgot what it was.
But I know she's a big time actress. I've only really know her and seen her from, she was in Casper, like Friendly Ghost.
Right.
She was in that. That's the only I know. That's the only thing I've seen her in. But again, she was. I mean, she was only. I'm looking at. She was 20 at the time.
She was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that she played a 15-year-old, it wasn't. I don't want to say it wasn't far off, but it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a little weird. She was 15. I don't know. He got a nice. Looking for a 15-year-old, I'll tell you.
I know. But I mean, again, that's the 40s, right? Didn't they kind of do that back then? The age difference was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Wouldn't play nowadays, huh?
Oh, I know. Well, no. The world's changed. And let's go with Charles Scorsese's Man with the Glasses with Tommy Como. That's Charles Scorsese, the guy with the glasses. That's his father, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy I was telling you was in the Goodfellas.
Yeah. And here's a little thing. Did you see this here? This was crazy. Ronald Reagan, I guess. Did you see that part?
No.
Ronald Reagan was shot a day after the Oscars by Hinckley. So the day after they went to the Oscars for this movie, he was shot that day when he was getting into his car with the Hinckley shot him. Yeah.
Hinckley, the writer, or no?
No, Hinckley, the
okay. I'm thinking
assassin.
somebody else.
Yeah,
Assassin. I'm sorry.
But it's weird how it was done right after it was the day after the Oscars, right outside where the Oscars were.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Do
you see about the script here? You know, it only took them 2 weeks to write.
No, really. Well, I mean, we got it based off a book.
Yeah, I know.
The dialogue is kind of almost there, but again, I mean, this was trying to think of what else I got. I didn't even recognize De Niro in the beginning.
I know. Well, he's old.
He was young and
they got
because I guess I was reading another note that Scorsese stopped production for a little bit because he was worried about De Niro's health because I guess he gained a lot of weight. Like that wasn't a fat suit.
No, in the end there, yeah. Well, remember the beginning of the movie ends with the end of the
ends with the end, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he gained. I guess he gained 40 pounds or something.
Yeah, which I mean doesn't seem too much.
Right.
Considering, but
I guess they the real Jake LaMotta worked with Robert De Niro. I guess did you read that one? They went 1,000 rounds in training.
Yeah, that's
think about that. 1,000 rounds.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of time that they took.
You noticed again. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Casino when Pesci's he accuses Pesci of being with his wife.
Yeah.
I knew. Yeah. I saw it coming right away. I was like, watch. I was like, you know, he's going to do it, right?
Oh, I know. Oh, definitely. Yeah. He was. He had some problems. Poor Jake, man. He had a tough time. It was hard. It was
right.
It was tough. Yeah. He just he wanted to be the champ. That was another thing.
Yep.
And they didn't give him opportunities. He was beating everybody. Nobody wanted to fight him. And Frank, you got to understand something back then, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
The mafia and those guys, they controlled a lot of those fights, Frank.
Yeah, they kind of hinted at that. Yeah,
they did. Yeah, they controlled them, Frank.
Yeah.
They wanted certain people to win. They took a dive. You remember the match that he gives up on?
He gives. Yeah, he didn't even He didn't even like make it look obvious, which is why they because they catch him on it pretty much.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
I kind of wish they talked more about because Frank Vincent, obviously is the guy that's connected. Right. Yeah. They didn't really explain that too well, unless I missed it. Because, like I said, then eventually, because beats the shit out of him. Yeah. They just kind of hinted at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was a little confused at where they were going. Like I knew he was connected, but like I said, I kind of wish they kind of went a little bit more into detail with that.
Oh yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. Hey, how'd you like the boxing scenes? Were very well done.
They were
very brutal to watch, though.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. You could tell some of the shots it kind of like missing. It looked like I noticed.
Once again, the rules were not that. Some of the things they did in that boxing match.
Yeah,
he hit him one time. He didn't even come out of the corner yet. You can't do that. And they would have stopped a lot of those fights. You can't. Back then, they just let them beat the crap out of each other. So that's a lot different back then. And like I said, a lot of the boxers would take dives. Big money.
I know.
Or they break your legs, man. That's the way it was. Yeah. There's a lot of different. That's a different world, Frank. It's not like today, man.
No, that's for sure. Now you can't even. I mean, the sport. They're cracking down on the sports betting with some of these guys too.
Oh yeah, and they're watching you all the time. They're watching everybody. They're watching everybody, definitely. Now, Tommy Como that sits at the table there, the big wheel, okay, next to Scorsese's father there. He was based on gangster Frankie Carbone, responsible for the killing of Bugsy Siegel in the Beverly Hills in 1947. So that's who he was based on in that film there. He shot Bugsy Siegel. They shot him right through the window of his apartment and killed him.
Right.
So, yeah, Bugsy Siegel was one of the ones that started
Vegas.
Started Vegas. Very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, him and
so yeah. So that's that's Frankie That's what he was based on. Is Frankie Carbone.
Because now we're going on mafia movies and such. Have you seen Mobsters with what's his face in it? It's a good movie too. It's obviously Charlie Luciano. Christian Bale, not Christian Bale, Slater.
Christian Slater. That's an excellent movie.
That's a very good movie too.
Yes, that's really good.
Because even like The Godfather, they based like that whole with Charlie Luciano and even Meyer Lansky. Like Meyer Lansky is supposed to be the guy in the second Godfather. You know what I'm talking about? Rothstein.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So you like the mobster movies? I like that you're bringing all these people.
You know, listen, I felt right at home watching this movie. You've been around my family long enough.
Lucky Luciano, all those guys.
With the mannerisms, the way they talk, and I was like, watch, he's gonna hit her. Watch, you know what's coming. He's gonna slap the shit out of her.
You know who you look like, and you know who you sound like. Too bad you don't make the money he makes. Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, yeah. Joe, if you're listening, and we know you are, shoot some of that Spotify money towards us. But that's
that's funny.
I noticed go ahead. You want? I'll go first.
Okay.
He used a few. There was a few camera angles and a few shots where he used the mirrors. Did you notice that? And like mirrors. Reflections. Yeah. So that I don't know. Again, I look at kind of like the background and such.
You meant during the fight?
No, like some of the other filming, he used
the other filming,
like the reflection of the mirror to kind of just some of the different like angles and camera shots.
Yeah.
I noticed were kind of weird and funky.
Well, I'll tell you, like I said, he's a genius, Scorsese. So, you got to expect that from somebody like him. He thought it was going to be a bomb, so. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I was reading. He kind of like he ended up after this movie, he ended up going to Europe and did like small films and such. I don't think he had too much. Like I said, he didn't have too much faith in it, I guess.
Well, I don't think it did very well. But then all of a sudden,
according to the box office,
But then all of a sudden, the critics started to watch it or whatever, and they loved it. And I think once you get those guys going, you know.
I think for the time. For the 1980s, like I said, it's a different movie. Like I said, I guess the way his choice for going black and white probably made the movie.
I agree
because he made it in black and white. Again, you know, when you compare it to the two Rockies, you know that were already one Rocky was already out, and then the second one they were filming the second one too. I think. The black and white saves them. It changes the whole feel of the movie.
Oh, it does. If it was in color, it would have been horrible. It really would have been. Yeah. Let me see here. They had some tricky things they did here. I guess they filled the auditorium with smoke. Remember, they all smoked back then. So they smoke filled. They pumped it in when filming. Gave the time period how it was. It was always smoky. You see all that stuff there?
Yeah, I thought that. You're right. I thought it was kind of cool because the way when they show him in boxing, it doesn't look like. I mean, he's in Madison Square Garden.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Yep. It doesn't look like there's a big crowd behind him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
like they don't show like the stands and up.
Oh,
it looks. It just. I kind of like it. It made it look. It was a different look to it because you can kind of see almost like around the boxing ring. You can just see. The first few rows around it, and then everything else behind it was all black.
Yeah, well, maybe he filmed it. He wanted it that way. I just.
I like it. I like it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree totally. I agree. I agree totally with you. You do realize the scene where he says, "I want to be a contender." That's from On the Waterfront. So they did use those lines. That's where he's talking into the glass. Remember in the end? I think it's into the mirror. It's either the front. It's the end of the movie, and he's sitting there and he's doing the whole, "Hey, you got to give me a chance" and all this. I could have been a contender. That was direct lines from the On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. Yeah, yeah. That's another classic movie with Marlon Brando. So.
Really, I haven't seen it. Yeah. Did you see where we're going off? Now we're talking Mafia. The show on Paramount Plus. It was a mini series about the making of The Godfather.
No, I never did. How was it? Was it good?
It's very good.
I got it. What's it called, though?
I got to come back to me. I'll end up getting it before.
But it's a mini series they did.
So it's a mini series.
Right.
The guy from Maverick's in it. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's not 2 seconds here. Miles Teller's in it.
Oh, I like Miles Teller.
Do you have Paramount Plus?
Yeah,
Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
so The Offer, it's called.
Oh, okay. We'll check it out.
Make that your new series. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, I saw that. I saw it.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it, but I saw that. Yeah.
So it's 10 episodes, and they show you basically the behind the scenes on what it took to make the Godfather movie.
Cool.
But it's a series. So Miles Teller plays. Let's see here. You probably know some of these people. Albert Rudy. Does that name sound familiar?
Yeah.
And Dan Fogler.
Yeah.
He plays Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, okay.
And
so they're playing those. Oh,
they're playing those characters. Yeah.
The original.
So it's not a documentary, but it's almost kind of like one.
Yeah, because most of those people are gone. So
Giovanni Ribisi plays Joe Colombo.
Oh, okay.
So, and it shows you the mafia was all intertwined and how they got like death threats. It's very good.
Oh, I gotta check that out. That sounds really good.
Make a note of that. But back to the movie here. Trying to see here.
Oh, remember you were talking about Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
He hadn't done nothing. It says here he was a nobody in this film, but he owned a restaurant. That's in real life. That's
really.
So that's all he had to. I don't know how he got into this, but you realize he did fight too,
Did he?
No, not Joe Pesci. Yeah.
Oh, the brother.
LaMotta. He shot.
Okay.
He fought like 32 professional fights. He was pretty good, actually.
They sparred, I guess, a lot too. They sparred against each other.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't see
but during the thing, I didn't know that during the movie. I didn't know until I looked it up. But then he was a boxer too. So he just only boxed for 2 years. That was it.
Really? Yeah. I thought one of the cool scenes was when they were practicing sewing the beef. You see that in the movie?
Sewing the beef.
They're doing they're doing like a it's like his ring crew, and they're practicing. Like, I guess, when they ring the bell and you go to your corner, you get water, and I guess they'll patch up any kind of like cuts.
Oh yes, right, okay.
So they show that one of their, I guess, I don't know, like their ringside doctor. Right. The guy's got the beef on his forehead. It's like a piece of beef on his forehead.
Right.
The guy's sewing it, and he's like, hey, you think it took him 45 seconds? He's like, that's not fast enough. You got to have it.
I was wondering what he was doing.
Yeah,
I understand that. I know they sew each other. I know they fix each other, but I didn't know what that was about. I'm glad you told me because I didn't know what it was. I had no idea.
But let's see here. Down. I'm trying to think where I got here. I just wrote a lot of the scenes. Just De Niro just kills it with his acting, and he just plays a ruthless.
He does.
I mean, he was a nut, LaMotta.
Yeah,
he was a nut.
He was. He was very abusive. I kind of like, I enjoyed the movie, but it's a shame I had to see that side. I had no idea how he was. I mean, when I saw Raging Bull, I figured I know this guy's got a lot of things going on, but I didn't think he'd be like that. So it's kind of a little sad to watch. Felt kind of bad for him in a way.
Yeah, you did, especially when his kind of like his way he ended out.
Yeah,
where he was like this fat, club owner, which he's doing stand up comedy. But let's be honest, you're not funny. You're only you're getting there for your name.
You're exactly right. They're laughing because you're Jake LaMotta.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
And then the kind of I called the underage girl.
Yeah.
When when she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
21," I was like, "Yeah, okay." She's like, "She's probably 14."
Yeah.
And sure enough, she was underage, and
Oh yeah, yeah. A couple of regular boxers did play. Real boxers did play.
Really?
The parts, yeah. Like Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. He fought. I'm sure you heard of Marvin Hagler, and you've heard of Marvin Hagler, right? The fighter.
No.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and I can't think of the other guy's name, but he fought. He played as Billy Fox, the black guy. Yeah. So they did use a couple of real fighters in there. I mean,
nice.
they're older now. They're not older. They were real fighters back then. I forget it's 1980. That's what I got to remember.
Yeah, because it makes it feel like it's.
But 40, they were in it. Well, they have to because they got to make it look realistic. They can't just have some extra in there. They need somebody that knows how to box, and it makes De Niro look better too. How about when he's punching him in the stomach with that thing on? His brother. He's got the thing on his tummy there, and he's nailing him. I guess he broke a rib. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yep.
He broke a rib or something, I think. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it was crazy at the end when you see him kind of selling parts off the belt.
Yeah, I know.
It was almost like a drug addict kind of trying to just.
That was sad to see.
Yeah,
it was. You hear what he said? Where's the belt?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I'll give you more for the whole belt than.
And at the end too was kind of a rough scene to watch where he sees his brother. He's just kind of walking along, and
I know
he's like, "Yeah, yep." Because I am sure he tried to call him, but it seems like from what we know, he never really made amends. And
no, I don't think he ever did. Probably in real life he didn't either.
Yeah.
They both lived good lives. I think they lived to be like 92, both of them.
Really?
That? Both brothers lived to be like 92 or 93. That's amazing. All that stuff and to go through in that era to live that long without dying of some cancer or something.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. It was It was about 2 hours long. Not bad. I think they covered it pretty well. I think.
Yeah. It was all right. Yeah. I mean. But again, I mean, you said it right there. It was all the story about Jake LaMotta and him fighting his demons, really.
Yeah.
Because
it was. Yeah.
I mean, he said it was like 10 minutes of boxing. It wasn't a lot of boxing.
No, there was not. It was 10 minutes.
More just him hitting his wife.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember too.
Back in
those days, my father.
They did that.
Way. My father drank. My father wanted to hit my mother a few times, but my mother kind of was pretty tough. I know what that's about. That era is a tough era. A lot of drinkers back then.
40s, the 40s, the 50s, yeah.
And remember, Frank, back then you can get away with all that stuff. My father.
I know.
My father was very ruthless at times, so he could get away with that. You can hit your kids and stuff. You got away with it. Nobody listened to you. The cops didn't care about it.
No.
The world's a different world today. But back then it was that way. That's what I liked about it. It was very realistic.
Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, I think he nailed the whole.
Yep, definitely.
Time era, even like I said, even all that Italian, like that.
Right.
Because like I said, I felt right at home just hearing the way they talked and everything.
You're right.
I was like, it was like watching Goodfellas.
It was. I know. You get that vibe, no doubt about it. And remember too, women back then, once again, they didn't have much say, man.
The little lady will have a soda. You order in for.
That's right. That's what she's having.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough era. That's a tough era back then. Remember, that's right after the war too. You got to remember too. That's right after World War II.
So a lot of them came home with a lot of PTSD.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
And they definitely did not handle it well back then. They still. I mean, even now. I mean, you have people that come home from fighting in the war. It's still that post-traumatic stress.
Yes.
Oh, even now, it's still a struggle.
Yeah.
So imagine now. I mean, back then, they just kind of buried it down, and ended up becoming alcoholics.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Jake was in. Supposedly, I think he was in one of the scenes. I was looking for him the whole time.
Right.
I don't know, but I think he was in one of the scenes. I think that's what I heard, but I'm not positive though. Because remember, he was alive then. He worked with him on the film. So
yeah.
But I don't know what part it was. I really didn't notice him see him in there. I should have, but there was a lot of older people in them scenes. I don't know if he was in the corner or something. I don't know where.
Oh yeah, I know.
But yeah, I just thought it was brutal to watch, man. I know how they fight back then, but boy, the filming of it, the blood squirting out, like you said, of his nose and eyes, and what a mess! It was crazy. You imagine if that was really, it'd be like Rocky, blood all over the place.
Yeah, I know.
It was brutal.
I know. Yeah. If you saw it on TV, would you watch it again?
Probably not.
Probably not. No, I know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I just didn't like the brutality in it. With the wives, I don't care for that stuff. I really don't.
There was a lot of abuse. There was more. It seems like there was more abuse out of the ring than in the ring.
Exactly. I don't care for that stuff at all.
I'd rather watch Goodfellas or Casino.
I agree totally with you. Yeah. Hey, you know who she sounded like? I'm glad you said that. She sounded like Henry Hill and his wife when she was talking. What do you mean? She got that New York accent.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here!
No, she was great. She was great. Is she Kathy? Is she Italian? I wonder if Kathy Moriarty.
Yeah, I don't know. Italian. I'm looking at the name. I don't know.
I don't think so. But
that first girl was that? I don't think that was just a girlfriend. I think the first. I don't think.
Did they have a kid or no? No, I don't think so.
Well, no. No. You mean with who? With Catherine?
No, the first.
No.
Girl.
I don't even know what that was there because I looked. He's been married twice, and there's only two people mentioned: Catherine, and then he was married later in life when he was older. So that first one must have been a girlfriend or something that was in that show. I don't think that was his wife.
I knew right away he was going to cheat on her. I was like, wow. I was like, he's bringing him. I was like, he's bringing her to the parents' house so he can have sex with her.
Yeah, they did it. Unbelievable.
I'm looking at Kathy's her kind of little bit of IMDb.
Yeah.
Says she's a Bronx-born actress, so she was born in the Bronx. So I mean, the accent is definitely there. Everyone say she didn't have to fake it. That's for sure.
No. Well, she probably is Italian then, from the Bronx.
Yeah.
No, she could be a lot of things. She could be Irish, but I don't think she's Irish. So, that's what the Bronx had: Italians, Irish. They had a lot of different people there. Yeah, Bronx was. Remember, it's coming to Ellis Island. You're right there. That's where everybody used to come over on a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irish Catholic immigrants, so Irish.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I don't know. Is there anything else you want? We covered pretty much.
Yeah.
Most of the thing.
I was just surprised. I was just surprised. Like I said, I didn't think. I thought it was an okay movie, but the acting by De Niro in it was excellent.
I'm on kind of on par with you. I think the acting, because we're going to get into ratings right now, pretty much.
Right.
I think the acting was great. He plays a psycho. I mean,
he does. He plays a psycho. Yes,
he plays a psycho.
Yeah.
Pesci was good in it too. I think the acting was spot on.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess we'll just go right into the ratings. So for me, the action again. I wish there was a little more action.
Right, I understand.
We kind of touched upon where.
Yep.
It was more. It was more the story of him fighting his demons out of the ring.
I agree totally. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to.
Just before you get into it, I just want to say one thing. Now that you just mentioned that.
Yeah.
Think about this. If there was more boxing in it and less acting, that movie would have bombed big time.
Yeah. No,
it would never be where it is today. No way. That's my opinion. Today, I'm talking about 1980. I'm not talking about now. I don't think it would have done as well. That's my opinion, but.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, the action. I wish there was more. But again, I think the acting was spot on. I think the fact that he did black and white, I think, saved the movie as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna go 6'5". I think that's a little low. Maybe I'll even go 6. I'll go 6'7", just on a mere fact of De Niro is great, Pesci is great. I don't know, maybe because, and I love, I could watch Goodfellas every time Goodfellas and Casino is on. I'll put on and
I agree.
And watch them.
So you're going with what? What are you going for?
I go 6'5", but again, I wouldn't watch this movie again. I'm glad I did see it because again, it's not one of those movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Lists.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Scorsese again. I don't know what the hell he was doing before Raging Bull. he had to lay off the booger sugar, but everything he's done after Raging Bull, it seems like he knocked it out the park. So
yes, I agree. This is simple for me. I just give it a straight 7. That's about it.
Yeah.
It just, to me, it was excellent to watch De Niro. Always a pleasure to watch him and Pesci. But as far as the overall movie, story was good, but the overall movie, it was all right.
It was all right.
It was all right. That's all right. I didn't like I said, I don't like all the abusive stuff, so it turned me off a little bit. I understand it's real, a real story, but I just didn't care for that too much. But that's it. So a 7 for me, and 6.7 you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6.7.
So like I said, we talked. I briefly put the poll up, but it looks like we're going to have a guest for our next episode. Like I said, I won't reveal much right now until we actually get him on because
that's fine.
You never know how things go. But I think we're going to do The Longest Yard, the original.
Okay.
I have not seen that movie. I'm sure
you haven't seen it.
No, I've
really
seen the Adam Sandler one.
Oh, okay.
The remake, which is very good.
Well, when you watch that, you'll enjoy it because it's pretty much the way they did a good job of both. So,
is there a lot of comedy in the original?
There is.
In the original, okay,
and a lot of not comedy too. Just like the new one,
I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of racist stuff for that time too.
Every movie we do.
Don't spoil it for me. I guess.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, that wraps. I think this episode up. Anything else you want to talk about and discuss, or
no? That's it. I'm looking forward to the guest though. Once he comes on, that'll be fun.
Yes, absolutely. I'll definitely touch base with him. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I'm trying to open this podcast up and get on the Joe Rogan level.
I got somebody I know. His name is Doug. He just listened to Goon and Bagger Vance.
Nice.
So he watched them, listened to them. So
nice, very good.
Yeah.
All right. Till then, that's the ball game.